Yo, what up, guys? Your boy Chris Lee. Welcome back to another video. And today we'll be going over my final WrestleMania 42 match card predictions. I've done two or three previous videos, incredibly wrong. Probably only got one or two of them right. So this is my final prediction. And some people are going to be left off this card. Chris Jericho, I want people to know. I don't think he's going to be at WrestleMania. Who else? Is there anyone else? You'll see him. So let's get right into it. Damian Priest is not on the card. Either is Aleister Black. Okay, let's get into night one. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. This is just circumstances. Like, Seth Rollins, I think the story was meant to be Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. But obviously Braun Breaker is injured. So I think they were going to pivot to Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins. But then Bronson Reed got injured. And now I think the final iteration of this match will be Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. Yes, this is a rematch from WrestleMania 39. It has more layers to the story, even though Logan Paul wasn't in the vision when Seth Rollins was betrayed. But I think this is what's going to happen. There's not many other solutions. Like, you could have a tag team match, Seth Rollins, LA Knight versus Logan Paul in theory, but Seth Rollins is going to have a singles match. He's one of the biggest stars in wrestling. And I think Logan Paul is much better than he was at WrestleMania 39. He can kind of carry himself in a match now. His moveset is more expansive. And I think this will be a much better match, even though I did rate the other match very highly. I think this is going to be the match. Probably no stipulation. I would have a no-holds-barred match, because this kind of feud does feel like it needs a stipulation, but whatever. I think this is the match, and I'm confident in this. I originally had Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny, but doesn't seem Bad Bunny will be at this show. Moving on. El Grande Americano versus El Grande Uno Americano. Chad Gable versus Ludwig Kaiser. They've been setting this up since Royal Rumble. Very clearly this is going to happen. In Mexico, Ludwig Kaiser is the face. In America, Chad Gable is the face. Honestly, I would have Ludwig Kaiser win this match, have Chad Gable be demasked, and have him just go back to being the wrestling machine, Chad Gable, instead of this stupid character. El Grande is clearly having some of the best work of his career in AAA. Just have it as this match. I would have Ludwig Kaiser win this match, but this is almost a 100% guarantee for the WrestleMania. Julia versus Io Sky. Initially, I didn't have Julia on this card, and I had Io Sky and Rhea Ripley tag teaming on this card. But since Rhea Ripley is now challenging Jade Cargill, Io Sky needs something to do at WrestleMania, and she's too big of a star to be left off. And they've been teasing this feud on SmackDown for the last little while, and on the most recent SmackDown, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky split up and said they're going to do their own thing. And this is just a phenomenal match. Julia is one of the best in-ring wrestlers currently. Io Sky is probably the best in-ring women's wrestler currently active. This match will be phenomenal. A brand new match. They just need to start setting it up soon because WrestleMania is in just over a month. And this match hasn't been teased or hasn't had any progression so far. But I do believe this will be the match, because I do believe they want to get all the women's titles on this card, and I believe they will. So yeah, this is the match. Julia versus Io Sky, and I believe Io Sky will win this match. Moving on. Trick Willie versus Sami Zayn. I initially had Trick Williams versus LA Knight, but I believe, again, Sami Zayn has been snubbed out of 2 WrestleManias back-to-back. And I don't think they're going to do it again. I think Trick Willie is obviously, they want that whoop that trick chant in the stadium. He's a massive star. He's getting main event pops. Sami Zayn is obviously a beloved wrestler. Everyone loves him. Everyone wants him on this card. And he's been teasing a heel turn. He's been having backstage segments with almost every wrestler in that Elimination Chambers match. But Trick Willie and him have been beefing for a while. I believe this is the match. And I would have Trick Williams win and have Sami Zayn turn heel. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. Not much to say about this. AJ Lee just beat Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental title. Becky Lynch is going to get her rematch in probably a stipulation match. Best 2 out of 3 in Extreme Rules, something of that sort. It's not going to be just a title match. Yes, there is a contender match on Monday Night Raw coming up for the IC title at WrestleMania, but I don't think that match is going to have a finish. I think Becky Lynch will somehow get into that match and win the match, and this will be the WrestleMania match. Because they've been building it up since WrestlePalooza. They need a blow-off match, and then these two can go their separate ways. I think AJ is going to win the title, or AJ is going to retain her title, and I think Becky Lynch will go on to bigger and better things. Even though AJ Lee is the biggest star in WWE, or biggest women's star in WWE, I believe Becky Lynch will go off on her own, and I believe AJ Lee will have a good title run, probably till SummerSlam, where hopefully she'll drop it to Roxanne Perez. Moving on. Now, this initially was Bella Twins versus Rio. But since Lash Legend and Nia Jax beat Rio, I have to put them in this title match. This could be a multi-man match. I'm just giving that possibility. This could be a Lyra, Bailey, the Bella Twins, Nia, Lash, Charlotte, Alexa in like a ladder match or in like a fatal 4-way tag match. But for now, I'm just going to go these two. Bella Twins obviously said they're going to come for the tag team titles. There's no better time to give two legends a title match than the biggest show of the year. And Nia Jax and Lash Legend have been doing some of the best work of their career. Lash Legend is a fucking huge star now. She's fantastic in the ring. Very powerful. And I think this will be a good match. They haven't been seen on TV in a while since they announced that they're going for the tag team titles. But I believe they will be on this WrestleMania card in some sort for the women's tag team titles, regardless of if it's a 2-on-2 or a 4-way tag match. Moving on. The main event of night 1. Yes, I know you're probably asking, where's Jacob Fatu? Where's Drew McIntyre? I don't have them. I think the Drew McIntyre saga with Cody Rhodes ends on SmackDown. I think Jacob Fatu costs Drew McIntyre the title. I think he interferes, he hurts Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes wins back his title, finally giving us Randy Orton, the winner of the Elimination Chamber, versus Cody Rhodes, the new WWE Champion at WrestleMania. We've been waiting for this since Cody Rhodes returned, since Randy Orton returned. We got it at King of the Ring, but they were both good guys. There was no really big stakes. I think Randy Orton beats Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And if he doesn't, I think Randy Orton turns heel. Randy Orton's been teasing that he wants the title bad. And I think if Cody Rhodes beats him, I think he turns bad. But I think they're going to give us this match. There's no way they're not going to give us Cody versus Roman. They fucking found a way to make Cody the champion again on SmackDown. And Randy Orton's already going to be in the main event regardless of who's the champion. I think this is a better match. This has more drawing ability. People want to see this match more than a triple threat match or a fatal 4-way with Jacob and Drew. I think this is the marquee match, main event of night 1. I would have Randy win, but I have a feeling Cody would win, and then Randy would turn heel, and eventually at SummerSlam, which is, I don't know, wait, I think I had a dream that SummerSlam was in Toronto for some reason. But anyways, these two will fight again at some point, probably with Randy being a heel and Cody being a good guy. I could already see the promos. I think this is the match to make. Moving on to night 2. Again, I'm not really predicting the matches are going to be on this specific night, but I just thought it was neater to have them in different nights. So, Randy Orton could be on night 1, and another match could main event, but vice versa. These aren't predictions on the nights, it's just the matches. Ilya versus Carmelo Hayes. Yes, they've had 2 matches. They've had the match where Ilya won due to the interference, and they had the match where Carmelo actually won the United States champion. These two are soulmates. Every match they have is fire. And they've been teasing this again. Every SmackDown, these two are in connection. Yes, you could have Carmelo Hayes just have a surprise opponent, but I think Ilya deserves a WrestleMania match after all he did with the Open Challenge. All Carmelo has done with the Open Challenge, he deserves a good opponent. And I think this will be bigger than any mystery opponent. I would have Ilya win because Ilya is my second favorite wrestler, but I feel like Carmelo should win this match. And then have Trick Willie versus Carmelo Hayes down the line. But with all the teasing of these two being friends and like friends that are willing to fight on SmackDown, these two are always interacting. I think this is the way to go. Moving on. Dominic versus Finn. I initially had this for the Intercontinental title match, but obviously Danhausen cursed Dominic, and Dominic lost his IC title on Monday Night Raw 3 days ago or 2 days ago. And it was low-key Finn Balor's fault. Finn Balor didn't interfere. He stopped JD from interfering. He said Dominic should do it on his own. This is obviously a Finn Balor face turn, where the Judgment Day turns on Finn Balor, or Finn Balor turns on the Judgment Day, vice versa. Finn's going to go into WrestleMania as a good guy. Dominic is going to be the nasty heel. And Finn Balor's going to win this. They've been teasing this for fucking 3 years. I thought this was going to happen at last year WrestleMania. I thought this was going to happen at SummerSlam. This shit's inevitable. And even now, more so than ever, makes perfect sense to have this. I would have had this for the IC title, personally. I would have had some way. Just have Finn Balor challenge Dominic as the IC title. But obviously that can't happen anymore. I think Finn versus Dominic is the inevitable match. And I think Finn Balor wins this and then moves on to better things. Moving on. Now on to the IC title match. We always need that ladder match at WrestleMania. Why not have it for the Intercontinental title? Penta does not have a feud going into this card. So I put together a few wrestlers that could be in the match. Javon Evans will be in a ladder match. If there is a WrestleMania ladder match, he will be in it. He's one of the biggest rising stars. Rusev is just Rusev. He's one of the mid-card people on Monday Night Raw. LA Knight needs a WrestleMania match. I have him in this match. In theory, it's just theory, and he doesn't have anything else for WrestleMania, so just chuck him in this ladder match and have Penta win, or have Javon win, or have LA Knight win. Mainly have Penta or Javon. And I think it's just going to be a ladder match. These aren't actually the opponents. I think I just went on the Monday Night Raw roster and tried to find people who aren't booked and deserve to be at a WrestleMania match. And these are the people I found. But I do believe Penta's going to have some kind of multi-man match at WrestleMania. He has no one to feud with. And I think it's too... I don't think he is the type of superstar to have like a blood feud going into WrestleMania. He's always a multi-man match, a tag team match. Initially, I had him and Rey Fenix versus the Usos. But the Usos were another tricky one to matchmake. Really tricky one to matchmake. Moving on. There you go. Now I have Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. I think this match is going to be a singles match. I think they want Cody versus Randy, and I think this is how they're going to pay off the feud. Yes, Drew McIntyre has been feuding with Cody Rhodes and has been involving himself in a lot of Cody Rhodes-centric business, but I think once Jacob Fatu costs Drew McIntyre his title, I think Drew McIntyre will turn his focus entirely on Jacob Fatu, and I think that will be the WrestleMania match. And I would have Drew McIntyre win? I don't know, because this is a really 50-50 match. You don't want Drew McIntyre to lose. He would have lost 2 back-to-back matches. He's one of the biggest stars in the company. He always puts over the people. It's really upsetting, but Jacob Fatu is built to be a beast. He's going to be a main eventer soon enough. He could have been a main eventer for this card. And, yeah, I mean, I would have Jacob Fatu win. I think Drew McIntyre can always recover from a loss, but I think if Jacob Fatu loses a match, it hurts him more than it would hurt Drew McIntyre. Moving on. Rey Mysterio versus Gunther. Gunther is probably one of the hottest heels in the company right now, and he's going into WrestleMania with no direction, which is terrible. He retired AJ Styles, he retired John Cena in the span of the last 3 months, and he has no WrestleMania direction. He's been feuding with Dragon Lee as of recent. He just demasked Dragon Lee on Monday Night Raw, and I believe this is all building up to the King of the Mask, the King of the Lucha, and another wrestler who's in his 50s who can be retired by Gunther, and that is the fucking GOAT of Lucha, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio has not really been involved in much as of recent. He's not really on Monday Night Raw. But I do believe that Gunther demasking Dragon Lee, who's a friend of Rey Mysterio, and choking him out, which will pull Rey Mysterio back in, and I don't think it will be Rey Mysterio's retirement match. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do believe Gunther will destroy Rey Mysterio in this match, and I believe Rey Mysterio will be out for a while. I would give it another year for Rey Mysterio's career. I think at WrestleMania 43 he retires against Dominic Mysterio, but I think this is easily going to be the match. If this isn't the match, I don't think Gunther's on the card, because, like, where does he go? I had him against Randy Orton. Randy Orton's in the main event. I had him against Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's going to be fighting someone else. There's not many other options. I think Rey Mysterio is the best option, and it can continue his career killer gimmick. Moving on. I could not think of a person for the Usos to go against. The tag team division on Monday Night Raw is so shallow. They have to be on the card, obviously. They're two of the biggest. Well, Jey Uso is one of the biggest stars in the company, and they're tag team title holders. And it wouldn't make sense for Jey to be on the card and not Jimmy, because they are the tag team title holders. So I have them in a triple threat or a singles match against someone. One of these two probably. There's not, like, I would have the New Day, but the New Day is injured. The War Raiders are always a good pair with anyone. They're great wrestlers. The Creed brothers haven't been pushed at all since they fumbled that match on Christmas Day last year against the Judgment Day. Yeah, I mean, the Usos will fight someone. We'll have a tag team match, but I don't know against who. I originally had it, as I said earlier, against Penta and Rey Fenix, but I don't know who you go against. Maybe a multi-man ladder match, but yeah, they're going to have a match, but I don't know against who. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. This is the said Brock Lesnar match. This is going to happen. Oba Femi's built up to be a fucking monster killer. Brock Lesnar is the monster of all monsters. He doesn't have a match. He's going to go on this tour in the next couple weeks of him going to every Monday Night Raw, going to every SmackDown. I don't believe everyone, but a variety of Monday Night Raws and SmackDowns to look for an opponent, for someone to step up and challenge Brock Lesnar. And I believe multiple superstars will. I believe Matt Cardona will come out. I believe Danhausen will come out. I believe multiple wrestlers will come out, and Brock Lesnar will demolish them and kill them on that SmackDown. And then finally, the Raw before WrestleMania, Oba Femi will come out, and they will brawl. And Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar will be the WrestleMania match, which will lead into Oba Femi beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, solidifying him as a main event star, and that will lead to him winning the World Heavyweight Championship down the line. Moving on. These matches are the confirmed matches. There aren't going to be any other confirmed. None of them are going to be speculation matches, I believe. I think the rest are confirmed. Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. Rhea versus Jade Cargill. And CM Punk versus Roman. I'm going to give my prediction for these. Liv Morgan. Rhea. And Roman. This feud is phenomenal so far. Two fantastic all-time promos. CM Punk said he's going to bury Roman Reigns next to his dad. Roman said he's going to kill CM Punk. Great match. I'm really excited. I believe these two will have a phenomenal match, because these two do have really good chemistry. CM Punk's been doing some of the best work of the career. Roman Reigns is obviously Roman Reigns. And for the Jade Cargill match, these two have actual IRL beef. Apparently, the online beef that they had started as a way to give some life to this feud, but then Jade Cargill mentioned that Rhea Ripley does spend a lot of time in her creative, giving ideas and shit, and that hurt Rhea Ripley. And then the entire fucking SmackDown roster was talking shit to Jade Cargill. Clearly, she's not liked. I remember there was a report that she was injured a while ago. That's being reported now that she wasn't injured and they were giving time off for things to cool down, and so on and so on. And obviously, the other WrestleMania match is going to be Stephanie versus Liv, because Liv won the Royal Rumble. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys disagree, like, comment, and comment your opinions. Comment what you think the matches are going to be. Thank you for watching. Bye.